Yes, this is Mr. One on the All Good Show, all brought to you by WORLMAG. We play the hottest tunes, bringing the most exclusive interviews. Right now, we're blessed with the presence of an artist who's creating his status as an icon as we speak. This lyricist supreme always delivers conscious and uncompromising and insightful content in his songs, which is exemplified by his legendary songs like Warrior, Contraband, Can't Breathe, Reggae Music, Ready for the Road, Nice Up the Dance, Well Done, Red, Gold and Green. And he has effortlessly crossed genres to collaborate with artists like Protege, Stonebwoy, Akon, Raekwon, REGGAE, Chronixx, Agent Sasco, Etana, and the legendary Damian Marley himself. His performances have graced stages internationally in places like Spain, Portugal, Germany, Holland, France, the United States, the UK, and of course, Reggae Sumfest in Jamaica. Not to mention the 30-day United States Stony Hill tour with Damian Marley himself, to which he received rave reviews. His work has received critical acclaim by placing at #1 on the Billboard Next Big Sound charts, awarded Breakthrough Artist of the Year at Reggae Industry Association in 2013, nominated for Song of the Year 2013, 2014, and 2015. He has won award for Best Reggae Recording by Canada's highly respected Juno Awards, and he's now cemented his legendary status by winning the Best Reggae Album at the 65th Anniversary Grammy Awards in March this year. I'm truly honored to introduce the man who needs no introduction. Welcome to the All Good Show, reggae, dancehall, hip-hop artist, producer, the one and only accurate, immaculate, Kabaka Pyramid.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, that bio there.
No.
Yeah, well detailed, man.
Well, I mean, leave out some of it too.
True.
You just done tear down the UK.
Cool,
You understand?
man.
Manchester done. You understand? Birmingham done. Bristol
man,
done.
Bristol.
London last night.
Crazy.
You understand? And the fire keep burning, brother. On top of that, now I have to say congratulations. Because, you know, I'm in the presence of a man who's won a Grammy Award.
Yeah,
that's one of the most prestigious musical awards anybody could have ever received.
Yeah,
so, obviously, congratulations. How it feel, brother? How it feel right now
to be? It's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling, you know, on the day when the award was announced. It was just euphoric, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was still kind of up on the high of it, so it's a joy, man. You know?
So, all right. We could start right there, so still, because the truth is, when you're making the album itself, I mean, the Kalling is the album that you've won the Grammy Award for. And when we interviewed you last year, it was just about to be released, and you just had Make Things Work. That was a single that was working at the time.
Yes.
So even at that time, did you know that you had something special there with the album?
I knew it was something special. If they asked me if I knew it was going to get a Grammy, I couldn't say yes at that time.
Right.
But I knew it was special. Because you don't know, these things come down to votes and people's opinions and all of them things. So regardless of what you think, like we've seen artists where tell you confidently say them are going to get the Grammy and them don't get it.
Right.
You know, I not really look on things that way, but I knew it was a special project. I knew we put in some great work. And, you know, the sound of it, to the lyrics, to the songs, the content, the features, everything, you know, the production by Gang. We knew it was something heavy, something special.
Well, may I tell you, so from when you get nominated, you must have feel a joy from that.
Yeah,
you understand?
Definitely.
So the night itself, boy, if you hear your name called, you understand? That must have been like a fulfillment. I mean, it's a long way man journey, because you come up from sound system thing. You understand? With you and your brethren, them start on a little sound system.
Yeah.
So this is a ground up success that we're looking at here. So and I like nobody give you no helping hand, so there's talent and determination and ambition and them thing there. And ultimately, one of the things I have to give, they don't give award for them thing here, but in my opinion, they should be. Because one of the things that we notice with you is that you're an artist that you're true to yourself. What you see is what you get. Yeah. You understand? And that you said, like I was saying even before we start, the pyramid for me, it means more than just than the face value. Pyramid for me is like, say, I mean, Kabaka, that means king. That's right. That means king.
Uganda,
right. But the pyramid is like, say, a pyramid of a firm basis.
Foundation.
So you set your foundation. Yeah, that's from 2011 you jump off foundation set. People know who you are. them not surprised by what you do. Because if you mix the hip hop with it, them know say that you do from day one. If like a R&B mix up in it, you know say that's a Kabaka from day one. And if you get the reggae and the dancehall, you know that's a Kabaka from day one. And then just build it up from there. So winning these awards, winning these critical acclaim. Now you tour with people, now you're doing your own headline tours, selling out your shows them. And it pinnacle now in a Grammy award. So it's like that's how a pyramid is. Firm foundation built up to a
100%.
point. Yeah, that's it. And reflecting star constellation, that means a God involved in it still, you see it. So Bridget, me have to give them not give award for them things, but Bridget, me have to give it in my opinion, them to give award for them things, brother, because see, well, true to yourself award. Something to recognize when artists are true to themselves and can still achieve success. So now I'm going to give it to you, brother. So yeah, man. I mean, we talk about the music, always a level of social consciousness, all them and supreme skill, wizardry. I mean, you make the delivery seem so easy. That's the other thing. So is it something that you deliberately do to say, well, okay, yes, I'm going to put consciousness in it. I'll go and make it entertaining, but at the same time, I don't want to be too preachy. At the same, but I still want to give people direction. Is this a conscious thing that you think in your mind to be balanced with your delivery?
Yeah, for sure. You have to be mindful of all of these things. Because if you don't, then you end up doing music just for yourself. And it's really, you're doing music to make people enjoy it and listen to it and absorb it. So, and you have to think as wide scale as you can.
Right.
You can't just think to box yourself up in a one little area, so only these type of people alone listen to your music. So, and working with Gang help with that too.
Right.
Because he's naturally, more of that broad thinking type of songwriter.
Okay.
So that the experience of that definitely helped me to working with him, man. Yeah, for sure. I have to met all them things, man.
See, and balance is one of the hardest things for human beings for doing it, because emotion can lead you from one extreme to the next. So for you to maintain balance and to represent balance even in your music, you understand, make sure it's entertaining but informative.
Exactly.
But not, give people direction, but not preachy. You understand? So, you keep it balanced in every direction, so it's well-rounded. So, yeah, man. I mean, the album seems full of representation of varied musical influences. I mean, you have the hip-hop, the R&B, even soul funk kind of in there too.
Yeah.
Dancehall, obviously reggae music, amazing lyricism. I mean, the unique flows, and it's your personality that seems to just bring it all together.
Yeah.
You know, so even if it's a different genre of music, you are the constant.
Exactly.
And you are the thread that bring it all together. So, in terms of your musical influences growing up, and on the Kalling album, all the songs have their own identity. How do you bring together so many genres without it sounding confusing? How you decide to give each song its identity? How do you balance all of that?
Well, I mean, a lot of it come down to the producer too.
Right, okay.
So Gang, he has a certain vision for how him like to go about producing albums, and he likes to bring different influences together.
Right.
If you listen to Halfway Through, you listen to Welcome to Jamrock. It's not like one drop reggae right through. It have different influences, all those that you mentioned before, and there's that variety. So it kind of follow along that thread. And obviously, I'm someone who influenced by all these different types of music and love to express myself in these different ways. So it come natural to me to find flows and to find vibes for the different type of rhythm them, as long as I resonate with it.
Right.
So yeah, it's easy, something that we don't have to think about too much. As long as the rhythm them nice and I connect with them, it's easy for find music, find vibes, for complement the music. But I do think the cohesiveness comes from everything being in the same studio, the recording process, running through the same gear, the same equipment, the same board. So there's a kind of textural identity to the music too.
Okay.
So even if there's different genres and different sounds, it still have this Kalling feel to it.
Right. Okay. No, that's a really interesting point, because so many albums are recorded all over in different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and so it can kind of feel a bit disjointed. But because you do it all in one place, same equipment, yeah, that's a very interesting point. talking about production, I know obviously you're a gearhead. From the last time we talked, man, you know equipment.
Man,
you love your equipment, you understand? And you know, when it comes to like your mic have to sound a certain way, you have to have the correct mic, you have to have your mix, everything have to be everything have to be on point, and you know your equipment. And obviously, so you're going into so obviously you, in terms of production, you're very wary of production and them kind of things. So when it comes to producing your music, I know obviously Gang is the overall executive producer, but how does the relationship work in terms? Cause at the end of the day, is your project.
Yeah, so I'm the artist. You know, I would say Contraband was more like what you described, where I produce like 2 or 3 songs on it. You know, other producers produce. Gang produced 5 of the songs himself. Right. But he executive produced, so there was still a cohesiveness where, you know, 90% of the songs were mixed in the studio, kind of mixed together. So there was, but some of the rhythm them was produced, someone produced in Barcelona, some in Jamaica, some in. But this album, The Kalling now, Gang was the producer, not just the executive producer.
Right.
So he has his hands all over all of the rhythm them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like programming the drums them and the MPC and you know, some of them were live rhythms where me and my band played and I should say my band played and you know and in the studio. So him have him live drum set up in the studio and all of them things there. So and gonna direct the whole process. Right. So yeah, it's definitely a thing where my production skills kind of come in where there's, you know, input here and there and suggestions and things like that. But, you know, I was credited as co-producer on a couple of the songs, the ones I'm with the band. You know what I mean? Because I had to direct those songs. Like Mary Jane is me to find the bass line. I kind of start the whole vibe for that song there. So, I never play up on the record, but me just the idea, you know? So, them little thing that, you know, definitely involve and I like to give input. I like to, because I definitely hear things, you know, and me and Gang made similar, but different in some ways. Too, you know what I mean? So,
we need that. You need that.
Yeah, there's always, you know, and it's the iron sharpen iron. So, you know, I learn whole heap watching his method and, you know, like Gang is a man where over the years, him have him MPC and it's like, him collect like drum sounds over the years.
Right.
So by the time I'm ready for him go through him drum sound them, you know, the fattest of the fat, you know. So when him kick a slap or him snare a slap, you know, it's like, and the thing them sound clean and just round and, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a joy for watch them and their work too and nice, so, you know, we just a vibe and keys they play and Gang just a program some drummer with just a jam session, live programming and so we come up with some of the idea them and then we set it down and things. So you know, it's a nice vibe, man, right throughout.
Yeah, man. For those who don't know, right here on the All Good Show, I brought to you by Flames Radio in conjunction with WORLMAG, the man himself, accurate, immaculate. Kabaka Pyramid up in the building for all men, women, and children, man. So, I mean, there's some brave decisions that you made on this album. I mean, Energy featuring Jameer Morgan. I mean, that's about soul funk kind of production feel to it. I mean, what's the creative history behind that song now?
I believe I fall to the studio one day and the beat was already done and Jameer was already vibing the chorus. So by the time I reach, I never see when all the magic happened that day. But I know Julian Marley was involved. I think he played some of the guitar as well as the Gang guitarist named Ali. We call him Ali Baba. I think he came up with the progression and Julian, you know, added a little guitar to it too and thing and, you know, Gang and Jameer together work out the chorus and things. So by the time I reach, all me need to do drop some verse, you know what I mean? But, you know, it was one of those songs where it kind of remind me of, my daddy made it out. Out of the ghetto, baby. Pan Gang, Stone Hill album. You know, them guitar there, and it kind of have that little vibe there. So, you know, I know said that is a vibe where you get from Gang more time. You know, them funky guitars and them stuff. So, yeah, you know, that's one of the songs them were kind of just easy for listen. It's not nothing too heavy or nothing too deep. Yeah, that's that song for everybody, just vibe to.
Yeah, a pleasant energy. Yeah, you understand? Exactly. Yeah, man, for real. Tell you what, one of my favorite songs, I mean, I say my favorite, but tell the truth, every day, every time I listen, me hear something, I say, you know, I like that one more today. And me say favorite, but that's the thing.
That's what a good album is,
absolutely.
You know?
It's a strong body of work where you can't pick a favorite. And it's like going back to the old school, like before album make, and you can almost, when me get music sent to me every day.
Yeah.
And me can almost, before them even release a single, and me can tell you which tune them are going to be the single beforehand. You understand? You see, with this, brethren, you just have to listen to the whole thing, you know.
Pick single
you
from
can't,
now
exactly. You can't pick single, which is a good thing. I don't know how I'm going to do it still, but so one of my favorite is Stand Up. And the fantastic vocalist, man, Natalia. I mean, seriously, I mean, it's almost mesmerizing, her vocals on that tune there. And that one have like an R&B feel to it. You understand?
The chorus, for sure.
Jesus, the chorus, trust me, may I tell you, man. But you make it clear to choose a principled stance as an artist. I mean, in the lyrics and where you deliver upon it as well. So yeah, what's the creative issue behind that one then?
So Gang with sample rhythm was a King Tubby's, and you know, we just did love how the rhythm sound. We felt like it had an international kind of sound to it. Like it could have been one of them reggae rhythm that way. You know, so Young Paul, who is Gang, used to play in Gang band and co-produce a bunch of records with Gang over the years. He knew this songwriter from LA named Natalia. And this record is actually her first time as an artist on a record. Like, she's more a songwriter, so she helped to write Lighter with Shensia. And like maybe 3-4 songs on Shensia album, and a whole heap of other artists she worked with. Originally from like southern Italy, like I think Sicily or one of them places that she's from. You know, and super talented. So I was in LA and we link up a fair studio because she have a group called Lion Child where they do production and songwriting. So I was over at the studio and, you know, played on the album what we have so far, and she love it, and we just say, oh, the rhythm, you know, so I made a chorus on the rhythm. And then play it, and it's like immediately she starts singing some melodies. And then it's like as she sing melodies, like words are come to my head, and you don't know words are come to her head, and literally within 20 minutes we had the chorus.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it was just a vibe. It was just an easy vibe. We could have come up with 10 more in the space of 2 hours. But that's just how talented she is.
For real.
Because really the melody carry. Once you have a melody like that, you can put the words to it. That's the easy part. You know what I mean? But so, and you want to watch her, she just voice herself. You know? And put her own harmonies and put her own effects on the voice. And then it's like, we'd have the demo. So from then now, me just take it and actually record it myself at home. And, you know, recorded some verses, and then, you know, we kind of make Gang hear them, then we kind of tweak them, and then, you know, me and Gang wrote back another verse. The two of we wrote now one of the verse them. And we record it back. You know, and thing. And you know, that song there, really organic the way it come together. A lot of minds came together, you know.
Fantastic piece of work, man. I tell you that, wow, the vocals captivating. You understand? The verse them, you understand? Powerful punchlines. For me, it's like it come together and you're mixing perfect balance between the reggae and the R&B vibe in there. You know what I mean?
One of those songs, it was a hard decision not to drop that as a single before. Because we were trying to get like a big name rapper to do a verse on that song. And you know, the persons we was linking with, they were busy doing albums, and then you know, one of them had a family, you know, issue, sickness in the family, and so you know, it was just kind of waiting to kind of get that song with a feature. Because even Natalia, you know, the plan wasn't for her to be on the record. She was just writing the song so we could get it to a singer. You know, so we had a couple people in mind, and then it never worked out, and we're like, yo, this sounds good as it is, you know. It sounds great.
Exactly.
So we asked her if this is something that she's looking to do, and she was like, yeah, you know, she's you know, talking to some labels now, wanted to do the artist thing. So we had to make sure that she comfortable with, you know, stepping out as an
100%.
artist and thing. And
100%.
yeah, that's a vibe.
Yeah, man, fantastic things, man. May I tell you, so we can't not talk about the lyricism because at the end of the day, you can't chat to Kabaka Pyramid and deal with it.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Reggie, first of all, me give thanks to the highest creator. That's important in my estimation. Have to call upon Haile Selassie, my inspiration, and my ancestors before me pour the libation. Sitting on the altar, me ask for no altercation with my family, my friends, and my closest of our relation. No bad mind, not a bad mind, but in my face a salutation. And if I up to them, then I would have salivation. But me give thanks, man a Jamaican. Me no look no validation from no other nation. When I overstand the connotation, them in a my statement, take a look in the population. Anything me touch, a world domination. Now when it comes to, now what I like with this is that you're rhyming, but you don't stick on topic. You're not straight from the topic.
No.
You understand? Skills in there, a message in there, but you're not straying from the topic. You understand?
That's to me is that when you bring lyricism with songwriting now. Because you could just be rhyming, and I've done that for many years, just rhyming where it go all over the place, but it sound good. It just sound lyrical and thing. But it's when you bring in you stick into a topic now and people can follow along with your lyrics. That's like the difference between like a Cannabis and a Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z, you know, you're following everything.
What he's saying, right.
Easy. You get the message and him, you know, him stick to an idea and express it in a deep way too. But simply too, you know? Them thing that we learn over the years and you know, gang now go okay, just no rhyming shit. You know, it's just like straight rhyming. Nah. You know, it have to assess something. You know? And that's something honestly, I took a while to realize that still in my career, that when people think about lyricists, it's not just about who is the most technical rhymer and how many syllables, and it's really what you're saying.
Absolutely.
It is the punchline. Does what you're saying have the impact? You know what I mean? So yeah, and that kind of helped to shape the process for this album a bit too.
And even though that's from the song Grateful featuring Jameer Morgan, that verse, that part of that verse I just quote, that's part of the first verse. But I'm not telling you, you know, you see all the second verse? Me could even, it's so skillful, me even couldn't follow that one there. Me I tell you, me couldn't follow that one there. That one is so skillful.
But it's funny, that song was initially written as one verse.
Okay.
You know, but when I cut it in two to kind of make it more, you know, bring back the chorus.
Yeah.
That got the chorus so powerful and thing, you know?
For real.
But yeah, I wrote it as one thing where just I escalate.
Oh, see, okay.
That's why the second verse starts so aggressive.
Okay, that makes sense. Boy, it's good for you. That's why I love them reasoning there. I say, boy, it's like you come to a next level with the second verse for we. Okay, I know Bebel Rock Music. I mean, that was at the production house, is that your management and all of that?
It's label, so you know, label and management.
Right.
You know, that's the team.
Right, and these are your friends you grew up with from day one, Campion.
Yeah, man.
From day one thing, right?
Certainly.
So what exactly, tell me about that entity. What exactly can we expect from them? What part do they play in keeping you consistent and pushing the career forward?
I mean, at the end of the day, it started from the three away. I mean, it was a wider group. But, you know, even from them time, we was always the ones kind of steering the direction of what we want to do musically. You know what I mean? So everything we do is like a democratic process kind of thing in terms of the direction where we want to take the music and how we deal with the label. Because, you know, we started an independent label from early. So the music was released under the label, you know, Rebel Music, Lead the Way, even Contraband and Kalling is in partnership with Ghetto Youths and Baby Rap Music. So it's still our label, and, you know, Abby and Dwayne now as management, you know, it's almost like a management company, you know what I mean?
Right.
And things. So yeah, and you know they also work with Ghetto Youth's label now too, and dealing with a lot of the work for the label as well. So it's all a family process. It's all a family process, and when you have brethrens who know you from long time,
Right.
it's like them not frightened for certain things.
Okay.
And them things that keep you grounded.
Same.
So it's like it's never going to be a yes man situation working with people like who me have around me. You know what I mean? So I value that, and it's sensible people too.
Right.
Like
And what you doing there make your assessor need. And what you doing there.
It's weird to talk about things like them there, but in here, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
People ask about the whole thing all the time, but it's like it's sensible people.
Right.
When we start, we never have all the experience in the world.
For real.
But we use our head and we use our experience, and we learn from experience and experience of other people.
For real.
And we kind of work our way and figure our way out, navigate through this industry. You know.
Now 100% large up to do it, and the full crew we done know doing a fantastic job for build the career, man, for real. So yeah, just want to open it out a little piece. I mean, and a song that you have on the album, on the Kalling album, I mean, you have Peter Tosh on the album, Mystic Man. Now, that's obviously is as a nod to, shows that obviously you appreciate the foundation that was laid by 100%. These legends beforehand. Just to open up the conversation a little bit more. I mean, now we have, the way the music industry is now, especially in Jamaica, what I call the chopper life generation. And I get the impression sometimes they don't necessarily appreciate those legends have gone before. You don't hear it represented in their music, or even in their lyrics.
Sure.
So how do you feel about the state of the music industry right now in terms of appreciation for legends and them kind of, and also the direction it's going in right now?
Definitely in Jamaica, I don't think the youths them educated on the music history of the country. I feel like these are things that should be taught in school. Because music is like our national product. So there should be more pride with it within the educational curriculum. So when the youth them don't know nothing really about, maybe them know about Bob and, you know what I mean? Them don't know about Peter Tosh and Burning Spear and, the youth them don't know about Dennis Brown. I don't blame them because them not hearing it on the radio. The radio does play new music. Them not learning about it in schools. There's no education impetus to make the youths them know about music and music business too. So the youth them just into what them into. And them following what them seeing at the US, and them following what them watching on TV and on YouTube and all of these things. So the youth them meds in a different place, so that's just the reality. But outside of Jamaica, a lot of people show respect to the history of the music and the legends that come before us, and even legends still doing huge tours.
Absolutely.
Burning Spear still doing huge tours. Absolutely. And selling out big venues and them things. So we know that we can't necessarily just watch what's happening in Jamaica. You know what I mean? But yeah, it still hurt me to see the lack of knowledge and representation of the history of the thing.
100%. Well, I know it's a whistle stop tour for you. When I say whistle stop, because I know you're busy. You understand? Because that's the upside is that, enough things are going on. The success is building and building and building. The downside is that there's very little time to do anything. You have to just cut and go through. You understand? But before you go, just one, I have to ask you about Red, Gold and Green. Because that song there is like, that's already sealed as like one of the classics now. You can't left the stage and not do that song there though. Right. So just tell me the creative history behind that song. Obviously the video itself have like in excess of 2.2 million views and very imaginative. So tell me the creative history of the song and anything about the video too.
Yeah, I mean, I really have to big up Jojo because Julian Marley, him start the progression on the piano for that song. And that kind of set the whole tone of the vibe, and we knock out the rhythm the night, and we did a jam to the rhythm and come up with the whole Red, Gold and Green idea. And from that night we had the chorus lock in. From the night the rhythm built, we had the chorus. And then I kind of take it similar like stand up. I took it home, record like 3 verse, and we end up end up tweaking a couple of the verses. Then Gang say, oh, he would have do a verse on it. And we say, yeah, man, ready right away.
Right,
and,
right.
You know, we knock out theme verse, you know, one night at the studio. And yeah, man, it was just a great thing. Then we fly up J-Will to Miami to shoot the video.
Right.
You know, rent a big studio, video studio, and he had a great idea for the color thing where everything is black and white except for the red, gold, and green. We had all the highlights and things, so the video worked out really nice. And we just didn't want to represent the true side of the culture, why we have red, gold, and green. Enough people see it and them confused, them think it's Jamaica's colors, them don't know the significance of why Rasta and reggae music have these colors so much. So, you know, we try and give a little history and, you know, knowledge behind it, the significance of His Majesty and the Ethiopian flag and all of that, and why we carry it around the world.
Absolutely, and the criteria for what it is to be a Rastafari.
Exactly.
Trust me. Okay, so horizon scanning. What's next beyond the album? I know you're touring, but what's next beyond this now?
I mean, we're still pushing. We would love to drop a couple remixes from the album and still kind of keep the momentum going. Working on only for music, you know, future projects, future productions. You know, work with different artists. Maybe another juggling rhythm. You know, we never talk about the Victory Rock rhythm we did a couple of years ago, but that was a good a good vibration for us on the label. Put out the first juggling rhythm, and you know, Ali and Romain Virgo, Pressure, Chris Martin, Jenkoman, all heap of artists was on the rhythm and thing, and did really well. So more things like that in the future, and you know, more touring. We're hoping to go to Africa for the first time this year.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, looking forward.
Just go and build up the pyramid.
That is it.
Well, all right, brethren. So much we're not chat about, but hopefully next time you come back, you know what I mean? But yes, man, brother, definitely. Again, congratulations on the Grammy Award. I mean, know when you come back, you're going to probably have a next thing we're going to talk about again as a brethren. We check say the peak with the Grammy, but it look like you're gone clear again.
No.
You understand?
What about the targets too, so? What to see?
For real. No, thank you so very much for passing through. And like I said, when you're back in the UK, you know you're more than welcome, okay?
Give thanks, man.
Yeah, man, bless up. Cool.